Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Prabhuji has come. Hari Prabhuji. Prabhuji has come.
Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Prabhuji has come. Hari Prabhuji. Prabhuji has come.
Hare Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Amalarjun Prabhu, you can proceed.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna to all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. So we are very happy to welcome His Grace Sri Chaitanya Chandra Prabhuji. Every week, week on week, he's giving us nectarian Srimad Bhagavatam class on 10th Canto. So today we will be covering Canto 10, chapter number 74. So we would like to welcome Prabhuji by warmly chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Prabhu, your name is appearing as Gauri More.
Actually, what happened today? I forgot my laptop.
Yes,
I forgot my laptop, so I have borrowed from somebody.
Understood. You can take the name, Prabhu. Just click that, the option will come.
How do?
Otherwise, host and co-host can also do that. You can just click on the name, then option will come.
Somebody can change it.
Otherwise, Amalarjun Prabhu or Manibhushan Prabhu, no, you can.
Amalarjun can change that name?
Yes. Host and co-host also can change. You yourself can do, Prabhu. Just
Done.
Okay, thank you.
Done. Okay. Yeah, Hare Krishna. So I forgot the laptop. I thought I have brought, but now I realize, so I took from one boy. And if those who anybody has that PPT, if they can open of the 74 chapter, because PPT is not there. Vedabase and PPT. Anybody who has, they can open. Till the time we'll do our prayers. So Vedabase 74 chapter summary, you can share. And if I have sent those PPTs before, so those in that PPT 74 chapter, if you can open, then we can see the PPT also. Okay. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथामृतं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखामृतांश नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतिसे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम
Okay.
हरे कृष्ण। Sorry. So today, anybody has those PPT? Anybody has found? Which I had sent once long back. PPTs.
Prabhuji, just give me 2 minutes. Let me search. In the meanwhile, maybe Sudarshan was there, Prabhu, you can share the Veda base. I will check on my computer whether it's there or not.
Yeah,
Okay,
so this, 74th chapter, this on the screen, it's shared. No? Yeah.
No,
Somebody
I
can
have stopped. I have stopped sharing. I will check for your PPT whether it is there or not on my machine. In the meanwhile, Sudarshan was there, Prabhu, please share the Veda base. No?
Yeah. Okay. Somebody can read the summary. Who would like to read?
Yes, Prabhu. May I read, Prabhu?
Yeah. Yes.
Chapter 74, the deliverance of Sisupala. King Yudhishthira became very happy after hearing the details of the Rasanda episode, and he spoke as follows. My dear Krishna, O eternal form of bliss and knowledge, all the exalted directors of the affairs of this material world, including Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and King Indra, are always eager to receive and carry out orders from you. And whenever they are fortunate enough to receive such orders, they immediately take them and keep them on their heads. Oh Krishna, you are unlimited. And although we sometimes think of ourselves as royal kings and rulers of the world and become puffed up over our paltry positions, we are very poor in heart. Actually, we are fit to be punished by you, but the wonder is that instead of punishing us, you so kindly and mercifully accept our orders and carry them out properly. We are all very much surprised that your lordship can play the part of an ordinary human being, but we can understand that you are performing these activities just like a dramatic artist. Your real possession is always exalted, exactly like that of the sun, which always remains at the same temperature during both the time of its rising and the time of its setting. Although we feel the difference in temperature between the rising and the setting sun, the temperature of the sun never changes. You are always transcendently equipoised, neither pleased nor disturbed by any condition of material affairs. You are the Supreme Brahman, the personality of Godhead, and for you there are no relativities. My dear Madhava, you are never defeated by anyone. Material distinctions, this is me, this is you, this is mine, this is yours, are all conspicuous by dint of their absence in you. Such distinctions are visible in the lives of everyone, even the animals. but pure devotees are freed from these false distinctions. Since these distinctions are absent in your devotees, they cannot possibly be present in you. After satisfying Krishna in this way, King Yudhishthira arranged to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice. He invited all the qualified Brahmanas and sages to take part and appointed them to different positions as priests in charge of the sacrificial arena. He invited the most expert Brahmanas and sages, whose names are as follows: Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasadeva, Bharadwaja, Sumantu, Gautama, Asida, Vasishta, Chevana, Kanwa, Maitreya, Kavasha, Trida, Vishwamitra, Vamadeva, Sumati, Jaimini, Kradu, Paila, Parashara, Garga, Vaishambhayana, Atharva, Kashyapa, Dhaumya, Parashurama, Shukracharya, Asuri, Vitihotra, Madhuchanda, Veerasena, and Ashtavakra.
Kritavarna.
Akritavarna. Sorry, Prabhu. Akritavarna. Beside all these Brahmanas and sages, he invited such respectable old men as Dronacharya, Bhishma, the grandfather of Kurus, Kripacharya, and Dhritarashtra. He also invited all the sons of Dhritarashtra, headed by Duryodhana, and also the great devotee Vidura. Kings from different parts of the world, along with their ministers and secretaries, were also invited to see the great sacrifice performed by King Yudhishthira, and citizens comprising learned Brahmanas, chivalrous Kshatriyas, well-to-do Vaishyas, and faithful Shudras all visited the ceremony. The Brahmana priests and sages in charge of the sacrificial ceremony constructed the sacrificial arena as usual with the flow of gold, and they initiated King Yudhishthira as the performer of the great sacrifice in accordance with Vedic rituals. Long years earlier, when Varuna had performed a similar sacrifice, all the sacrificial utensils had been made of gold. Similarly, in the Rajasuya sacrifice of King Yudhishthira, all the utensils required for the sacrifice were golden.
Okay, fine. We'll read this much only. There's, I think, a long summary. So basically, so you found, Amula, you got the PPT?
Yes, Guruji, yes, I have.
Okay, fine. I will tell you when to show.
Yeah.
So, so this is the deliverance of Shishupal. So here the Rajasuya Yajna, as we saw, that after killing Jarasandha, Krishna, Bhim, and Arjun, they go to Yudhishthir, Hastinapur. So there the Rajasuya Yajna is supposed to be done. The arrangements are made, and then there are all arrangements done, and Yudhishthir Maharaj arranges such a huge Rajasuya Yajna sacrifice, and part of that Rajasuya Yajna is Agra Puja. Agra Puja is the worship of the most senior personality, like that. So how Yudhishthir Maharaj arranged all that is given elaborately, and what all prayers he offered to Lord Krishna, and how so many Brahmanas and so many sages were called for the sacrifice. And he even called who all? Duryodhan, Dhritarashtra, Karna, who were so envious, they were also called. So you can see the nature of Yudhishthir Maharaj. He is so Ajata Shatru, non-envious, that he doesn't see that these are the same people who troubled us so much. Duryodhan, Dhritarashtra, and like that. So Duryodhan was called, Dhritarashtra was called, Karna was called, although they had inflicted so much suffering. But Yudhishthir Maharaj, actually, his heart was so generous. He never saw anybody as enemy. Others saw him as enemy, but he himself never saw anybody as enemy. So that's why he's called Ajat. If we would be there, we will actually not call such people who are envious of us. And we'll have a grand party, and we'll celebrate in such a way that they should feel more envious. Huh? So generally that is our tendency. That these people who actually troubled so much, why should I call them? But Yudhishthira is actually, we should learn from Yudhishthira Maharaj. So of course they were feeling envious because Duryodhan was given the in charge of the actually treasury. Treasury and how much money is coming. So Duryodhana was feeling so envious. So much money is they are getting, so much wealth they are getting. And Karna was also given, I think he was looking after giving the gifts. And Bhim was looking after the kitchen. And Arjuna was looking after the elders of the family. Nakul Sahadev, they were also given different departments. And Lord Krishna, what was Lord Krishna's department?
He was actually washing the feet of all the guests.
He was washing the feet of all the guests. So can you see that is Krishna's such great humility that he is supposed to be the Agra person whose Agra Puja is going to be done. But he has accepted the role of washing the feet. So Krishna's, we can appreciate the humility. If somebody is there who is now going to be the appointed as the chief, the CEO of the company, and he is going to be the top person in the company, and that ceremony is there. In that ceremony, will the CEO come outside and take care of the shoe stand?
No way.
It will be like great shock. If he does, then he will not be CEO. He will not be made CEO. So they will feel he has some inferiority complex or something. So the greatest person who is there, biggest person, he doesn't do something menial. So that's why the people in this world, they actually may be very great, but they are not very humble. But Krishna has both the qualities. He is greatest among the great, and he is the most humble among all humble. So like that, we don't see any qualities like that in this world. The greatest person always keeps his status. He will not do something like that. But that is what attracts. Humility attracts. Actually, humility attracts because that is an internal quality of soul. So if somebody shows actually humility, then that touches the heart. I remember this one place, there was program in Mira Road in Mumbai. This hospital is there, na Bhaktivedanta Hospital. So there His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj's program was scheduled, and but there he actually was very sick, so he was not able to go. So but they had arranged program, and then because he thought that now program is arranged, so anyway I should go. So although his health was not good, he anyways went there and gave a very nice lecture, and everybody was very happy, and they clapped hands and they were glorifying him. And then Maharaj there excused everybody, and then he was about to leave with his servant. So servant was there behind, and he was there. So when he came outside the door, he saw that the whole staircase is filled with so many shoes and chappals are there all over the stairs, because so many devotees had come, and they had kept their shoes and that on the stairs. So Maharaj saw how to go. Then now a normal person would be there, will just step on the steps, and just go. But what he did was, each step he was taking out the shoes, whose shoes was there, keeping aside, and then step on that place, and then again step on the second step, whatever shoes are there, little he would make place and step, because he didn't want to step on other shoes, because that may be an offense. And then like that he did for every step till he went down. And although he was so sick, still he was bending and removing. So like that, actually humility touches the heart. So somebody shows humility, then actually it touches the heart. We may not be able to do that, but actually at least it touches. So how much it will touch Krishna's heart. So So like that, Krishna is also not just showing here. He's washing the feet just to show off that, see, I am so humble. Actually, he feels really humble. Krishna is not a God who is, I am God and you are down there and you serve me. And so actually he is very humble. So whatever is needful, he immediately became the chariot driver of Arjuna. If need is there that you destroy the pride of Indra, then he will destroy that. That role also will take. But if need is there, you become the servant and wash the feet of the guest who have come for Rasli. He will do that also. So a leader means whatever is needed, you do. If it is needed, you you give lecture also. And if needed, you wash the feet also. Both. But if you say, no, I will just wash the feet, I will not give lecture. That is also not a leader. Leader means, okay, what if needed, there you have to speak, you speak. If needed, you have to wash the feet, you have to do that also. So humility actually touches the heart. So this is a very important quality. And I even remember Shampu's example also. Once some devotees had come from Bangladesh and other place for some training or like that. They had come to Pune. And if they stayed for a few days, and then when they were leaving, I just met them, happened to meet some leaders from Bangladesh. They had come. So while leaving, they said, we got the formula. I said, what formula? That why your ISKCON Pune is so famous. I said, really? I said, please tell me also. I don't know. They said, what is the formula? We got the formula. Why your ISKCON Pune is so famous. So he said, you see, in your temple, what we saw is the temple president, he is serving prasadam, and the vice president, he is driving us to the airport. This is the secret, is it? That's why our temple is so famous. So Radheshampuru, he daily comes and does serving prasadam there. So this dude saw that some like temple president who is serving prasad, they had never seen like that somewhere. He said, this is the unique temple we saw. And the vice president, our Revtipati Prabhu. Our Revtipati Prabhu, and he was driving them to the airport. So they said, this we have never seen anywhere. The temple president is serving prasadam and the vice president is driving us to the airport. So this is the secret why your temple is so famous. Then I was really touched. I also don't, because they stay with us, we never value. They are, like that. But actually, then I understand humility actually is such a great quality. It touches the heart of anybody, even the greatest of the enemy. If he sees humility, it touches his heart also. So how much Krishna will be very much pleased by this quality of humility, because he himself is so humble. He likes humble devotees. So he is doing the menial service of washing the feet of all the guests. So like that, different departments were given to each one. And then Yudhishthira Maharaj glorifies Lord Krishna. And then they decide who should be the person whom we should do the Agra Puja. And then Sahadev, he stands up and he says, the most worshipful person is Lord Krishna, because he is the origin of everything, and because of him only everything, the whole universe is one. Then he also glorifies so much. Yudhishthira Maharaj glorifies, and then Sahadev, he also glorifies. So much glorification of Lord Krishna is there. And then he is also sitting there and hearing Lord Krishna. And then almost everybody agrees that yes, Lord Krishna is the person whose Agra Puja has to be done. We should do his worship. That time, who stands up? Shishupal. No. He feels so much, my God, Krishna, 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 everywhere. Actually, from birth, he was born with so much envy for Lord Krishna. And the envy only increased when his to-be wife, Rukmini, was stolen away by Lord Krishna. Already the envy was there, and all the more it increased. And now it reached the summit. when they decided that Krishna should be made the person Agra Puja, his Agra Puja has to be done. Then he was so upset. And he started blaspheming so much. Now, amazing, na? A person who has no fault at all, Shishupal knew 100 faults of that person. Lord Krishna has no fault at all. So he is completely faultless, but Shishupal saw not one, not two, not three, 4, 5, 6, 7, and he was blaspheming. That time everybody was thinking, my God, what is this? And they blocked their ears, and many of them left also that assembly. They couldn't hear. And some of the Pandavas and others, they immediately stood up and they were about to attack Shishupal. But that time Krishna said, don't worry. So, wait. And then everybody was nice, somehow tolerating. And then when Shishupal went on, he was so much absorbed that this time he lost the count. Every time he would actually blaspheme 99 times. And then he would stop. Because he had got a boon. So from whom he got the boon?
Lord himself.
What happened when
At the request of his mother, Prabhuji?
He was born with, I think, 4 hands, right?
3 hands and 3 eyes or something.
3 eyes, huh? Achha, yeah.
Hands
So-
are extra hand, extra eye.
Extra hands. And it was said, if the person who is about to going to kill him, if he comes in the front, his 2 hands will vanish. So that time when Krishna came in the front, his 2 hands went. So mother knew that Krishna is going to kill. So she requested Krishna, please don't kill. Krishna said, yes, I will not kill if he blasphemes me 99 times. But if he crosses 99, he reaches 100, then I will kill him. So mother told him from the childhood, you can blaspheme Krishna, but up to 99 only. Don't cross the limit. Always keep a counter. Like we keep the counter for chanting Hare Krishna. Clicker. Keep a clicker. But that day he forgot clicker, I think. That day he couldn't carry the clicker, or maybe he forgot that it is going beyond. Because his envy was reached, so much. So then 100, when it reached 100. Now imagine, to tolerate even 99 is a big thing. Na? If somebody blasphemes you, one sentence also, it's quite insulting. Will live or will not tolerate or will say something, will not hear till 1, 2, 3, 4, 99. Lord would hear till 99. Again, his mercy only. You see? Till 99 blasphemy he would hear. And then Shishupal will stop. Then again next time 99. So like that, Lord would tolerate it so many times. But this time it was 100. And then Lord took her to Sudarshan and he actually chopped. In what special way Lord chopped the head of Shishupal?
Without bleeding, Prabhu. Not even a single drop of blood was fallen in the Yatna Shala.
Because if it falls, then it will become contaminated. So Lord Krishna killed him in such a way, Sudarshan, that blood didn't fall. The blood evaporated by the heat of the Sudarshan. And like that, it is difficult to kill somebody without spilling of the blood. How he must be, still his head, but his half of the body must have fallen down. His remaining body.
I thrown
What is
out.
the answer?
I think I was even thrown out of Yatna Shala.
Thrown out. The head is cut. This much head goes out with Sudarshan, but remaining body, the blood will come. No?
Everything is possible for Lord.
Inconceivable. So maybe Sudarshan must have taken all the blood out from the body before killing. Whatever, Sudarshan can't do anything. So like that, he was killed. And what happened after that? The soul from the body of Shishupal went into the body of the Lord. And that was not Sahyajya Mukti, although Prabhupada just tells there that he merged into the body of Lord, but actually he went back to God. It is said. Through the medium of the Lord's body, actually he got his Swarupa. So actually it is said that when Vishnu kills somebody, they may or may not get liberation. But when Lord Krishna kills, they surely get. So Vishnu, he may kill, but they may not attain liberation. So Vishnu's killing necessarily doesn't give liberation. So Vishnu killed who all? Who were in previous lives? These people. Jay Vijay. First birth, who were they?
That is Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyasha.
Action. So Lord killed Vara and Vishnu Avatar. They were not delivered. Then again,
Ravan Kumbhakar.
Ram Kumbhakaran. That time Lord Ram killed. They were not delivered. Then who came?
Then Dandavaktra Shishupal. Shishupal
Like that time. Yeah. So Lord Krishna killed. So Jiva Goswami says, whenever Lord Krishna kills, there is liberation. Vishnu kills. There is any other example of Vishnu kills? Example of Vishnu killing Kala Nemi. You heard who was Kala Nemi?
Kamsa.
He took birth again as Kamsa. So he was not delivered because although Vishnu killed Kal Nemi, so he was not delivered. But when Kamsa was killed by Lord Krishna, he got deliverance. So Jiva Goswami says that only Krishna actually gives liberation direct. So that is the one thing. And then of course, then the yajna happened, and then very happily they did the yajna, Rajsuya yajna, like that. So actually the first lesson we see is that.
You want me to share the screen?
Oh, PPT. Yes, you show the PPT.
Is it visible, Prabhuji?
Yes, the deliverance of Shishupal at Rajsuya. You see, who are all running towards Shishupal to kill with a gada and bow. Is Parshuram also. Who all you see? Bhishma Dev. Shishupal's still his face has so much envy for the head is cut. So these are Pandavas, I think, some of them. They are about to attack Bhim and others. That's blasphemy. Next. Yudhishthira Maharaj acknowledge Lord's mercy. All great rulers carry orders, but you carry orders of fools who accept themselves as rulers. As absolute truth, your power is not affected by your activity. Your devotees like you don't make distinctions. Yeah. Next. Exalted person attend the Rajsuya. With Lord Krishna's permission, Yudhishthira Maharaj selected priests for execution. All the inhabitants of the planet system came to attend the sacrifice. They were not at all astonished to see the luxury of the sacrifice as it was appropriate for a devotee of the Lord. Next. Exalted assembly selects Lord Krishna for the first honor. Sahadeva establishes Lord Krishna's supremacy. Yudhishthira Maharaj performs Agra Puja to Lord Krishna. Understanding the mood of assembly and overwhelmed by love, he fully worshipped Lord Krishna, eyes filled with tears. Then Shishupal speaks insulting word towards Lord Krishna. Elders got cheated by words of child. Krishna's behavior whimsical. Past curse on the Yadav dynasty. Flee the holy land inhabited by saints. Response of the covered ears walked out cursing Shishupal. Pandavas kings rose up with the weapons. Lord Krishna kills Shishupal. Successful completion of sacrifice. Lord stayed there for a few months and then reluctantly took permission to leave. Everyone satisfied except sinful Duryodhana, the personification of Kali. So here one lesson we learn is there will be always somebody who will be there to purify us. You have seen in your life? Everybody is,
Can you repeat what you said, please?
actually, there will be always somebody who will be instrument of our purification. One person. So everybody will be very nice and everybody is nice and you have nice relationship. But that one fellow will give you tough time. Without reason. And although you may do everything right, but still he will speak something and find fault and tell you like that. You know, you have seen how many of you have experience of that? Some person. So actually it is nice. So somebody should be there. Otherwise we will feel that we are so great. Somebody should
check
be
and
there.
balance. Check and balance, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So we should consider it as Krishna's mercy. Even Krishna was not spared. Everyone was glorifying. Everybody was happy in Rasa Yajna, but one this person, Shishupal. And he could find so many faults. He was not repeating the faults. It's not that 99 faults in that 60 were repeated and only the remaining were new. Every time new faults you will find out. Amazing, no? So like that, Lord Krishna was not spared. Our great acharyas, Prabhupada, there are so many people who criticize Prabhupada. What he did, this. He went overseas and he initiated Matajis, and you see, so like that, even great personalities are criticized. Great Lord, when he comes, he is criticized, and so many times it happens. So even the great acharyas, they are criticized. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur was criticized, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was criticized, and you do whatever, the criticism will come. So one should accept it as a feedback and try to improve and go ahead. So the world is made in such a way that you do whatever, there will be criticism. There will be some people who will praise you. There will be some people who criticize. Just like in a video, if you post, I have experience on YouTube. The videos, and it become famous. So many people will appreciate, but there will be one comment which will, they will criticize. So I had posted one video on how Lord Vishnu is great and Lord Shiva is the servant, and how this about the Vrikasur pastime, how Lord Vishnu saved Lord Shiva. Some bhakta of Lord Shiva, he was very unhappy. And then he quoted so many Puranas, this, that, and he said, so Lord Shiva is the greatest. And actually it was Lord Shiva who drank poison. Lord Vishnu couldn't drink. And some more, and he was like quite upset. And he said, you see, so many times here, Lord Shiva actually proved himself to be great, and Vishnu only this many times. So it's 4:2. So Lord Shiva is great. Like that. So like that, some people, they will criticize. Many will appreciate, but someone will be there who will criticize. So we should actually take inspiration from that criticism and then go ahead. So how do we see criticism generally? If somebody criticizes, what are the right ways of seeing criticism? Other than Sudarshan Vasudev, others also should speak.
Basically,
Yes.
it is a room for how we can improve ourselves, Prabhuji, basically. Because
Okay.
otherwise we will think that we are going the right direction. We should always look forward to improve ourselves, because there is no we cannot stop. We cannot be like a pond. We should be like a river. We should continuously keep improving ourselves. And
Yeah, good. So we should try to improve by hearing the feedback. As it is said, don't try to prove, but try to improve. Don't try to prove, I was right, I am right, I am right. Don't try to prove, but try to improve. So nice point, Amar said that we should try to improve by hearing. What other are the right ways we take the criticism? Anybody else would like? One way of seeing is we see that if criticism is there, that means actually you are doing some good preaching, good work. If there is no actual criticism, That means you are not doing something very big. If everybody is appreciating, yes, nice, good, very nice, very nice. Means that means you are not really doing something good. When you do good and when the opposition comes, when criticism comes, that means actually you are spreading. You are doing really some great work. So that is one sign. We see like Prabhupada, he expanded so much the movement. And then the criticism started coming from so many places. Now, when he was in Vrindavan sitting there, nobody criticized him. Everybody appreciated. Nice Baba. He is chanting and he's crying and staying Radha Damodar. Very nice, very nice. That means there was no preaching. But actually preaching means when there is opposition, when there is criticism. So we should actually take inspiration. That means we are actually doing successful work. So the criticism should inspire us. Should give us feedback. That means really your preaching is working. So that way we can take criticism also. So we should never feel discouraged, because even Lord Krishna was criticized. Lord Chaitanya was criticized. Who criticized Lord Chaitanya?
I can remember the students when he was teaching grammar. Students they criticized.
They criticized.
On Prashadam, on food eating also, he was criticized. Ramachandra, I don't know.
Ramchandra Khan. Yeah, Ramchandra. Yes, Ramchandra. Ramchandra Puri.
Puri, yeah, correct.
Yeah, he
Brahmanas
saw that.
Brahmanas of that time. Brahmanas. General.
Brahmanas.
Mayavadis.
Yeah. They were thinking that why Lord Chaitanya is doing Harinam Sankirtan in public.
Yes.
That one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Vedamantra to non-qualified.
Yeah. So you see, but Lord Chaitanya didn't stop there. So Lord Chaitanya was criticized, and how more perfect we are than Lord Chaitanya. So you Lord Chaitanya is criticized, and then what to speak of us, you and me. So one should not lose heart by hearing criticism. One should get more inspiration to do the good work. So like that, Lord Krishna was criticized, Lord Chaitanya was criticized, great acharyas were criticized. If you see during those times, Narottam Das Thakur was so much criticized again by the Brahmanas only. And then during Bhaktivinoda Thakur, although he was such a great magistrate and everything, he was also criticized. And what to speak of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was so much criticized, even they had plotted to kill him. They had plotted to kill some of the smart Brahmanas, to kill Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So it was so. And then Prabhupada, what to speak of Prabhupada? Prabhupada also so much criticized. So one person came to Prabhupada and he said that you actually have spoiled the Brahman culture. Actually, Brahmana means one who is born in India. He is Brahman. And you have given Brahman to these mlechas who are coming from different countries. How come they can be Brahmana? Brahmana means one who is born in India. He is Brahmana. Prabhupada coolly said, even the first being who was Brahmana, the first Brahmana, Brahma, he was also not born in India. Was he born in India? Is it not? Even the first Brahmana, Brahma, was he born in India? So how can you say that Brahmana means born in India? So Brahma got initiation directly from the Lord only, Gayatri Mantra. So he was the first Brahmana. He is not born in India. And how can you say Brahmana means born in India? So like that, Prabhupada would defend. Prabhupada was never discouraged. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur never discouraged. Of course, we can take it as an improvement, but actually we should not lose heart or courage and by the criticism. So Lord Krishna, we can remember 100 times. Can we tolerate 100 criticisms? So 100 that time is actually killed. Otherwise, Shishupal blasphemed so many times. So never mind. So there will be always somebody who will be there to purify us. Give some criticism. Consider it as purification. Consider as how to improve ourselves. consider it as that you are really doing good work. That's why there is criticism. So these are the ways we can actually take it in a positive way, criticism. But not, we should not do that. Then second thing we learn is that one should not hear the blasphemy of the Lord or his devotees. So when Lord was being criticized, that time actually some came to attack, some just left the place. So actually Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur tells three types of responses. If Lord is criticized or devotees are criticized. So first he says that one who is a Brahmana, what he should do, he should actually refute that person. And with arguments and logic, he should refute that how Lord has no fault, his devotees has no fault. So that is the first thing who Brahmana is there. If one is Kshatriya, then what he should do? If he is Kshatriya, then actually he said that he should actually cut the tongue of the blasphemer. And later, he should kill that person. If Kshatriya means king, he has that power, a blasphemer of the Lord. He should be killed basically. And then if somebody is a Shudra, Vaishya or Shudra, he just should leave that place. So these are the three responses one should do according to his Varna. So if some
Vaisya,
may feel
nothing
that
about
well,
Vaisya, Prabhuji?
Vaishya and Shudra, they just should leave that place. So Brahmana should actually refute and defeat him in argument. A Kshatriya, you should actually kill the blasphemer. There is no sin in killing that person. And third, Vaishya and Shudra, they should just leave the place. So these are Vishwanath Thakur says a response for one who actually blasphemed, one who is blaspheming devotee. One should not, one can respond with these three ways. So here many of them actually left that place immediately. Otherwise, one who hears blasphemy then of the Lord, then that actually goes in the mind and it can work subtly. And we can see that today's sometimes the internet is full sometimes with blasphemy of the Lord or sometimes great souls. So it can have subtle effects. Really, maybe he must have done or like that. It can actually create dissension in our heart. We should not hear blasphemy. That is very important. Our bhakti is already little small, creeper is there. And in that also the pests of what? Hearing blasphemy. Then that small creeper, what will happen? It will get destroyed. So that's why one should not hear blasphemy of the Lord or his devotees. That is the second lesson. And the third lesson we learn is actually the envy for the Lord will lead to destruction. So envy is very dangerous. This is the only one anartha, actually one quality which cannot be used in Lord service. How can we use other 5 anarthas in Lord service? Somebody can tell. There are the 6 anarthas. Envy, lust, anger, greed. These are the main, lust, anger, greed.
Greed, Prabhuji, greed, we can do more and more service to the Supreme Lord. We should be greedy to do more service and serve the Vaishnavas. That way we should be greedy.
Yeah. So, okay, greedy, more and more service. Lust, anger, greed, and then pride, envy, illusion. These are the 6. So greed, okay, we can do, one has greed and then one can actually use that for Krishna service, doing more service. Then, how can you use anger? Anybody else would like to say? How one can use anger?
Like Hanumanji, Prabhuji. Hanumanji used anger.
Hanuman and Arjun. So your name is Amal Arjun. You use your anger for Lord service. Arjun and Hanuman, they are the examples of using anger for the Lord service. But as it is said, that anger should be used as an extra wheel and it should not be used as a steering wheel. You know, anger should be used as a extra wheel and not as a steering wheel. Steering wheel means this Prabhu is always angry. Angry Prabhu aa gaye. So they use the anger as a steering wheel. Extra wheel means whenever required, anger is required to do the work. That time you take the extra wheel. When we take and the normal wheel, that Stephanie we say, na? That Stephanie we put when only required sometimes. So that like that anger should be used as an extra wheel and not a steering wheel. Anger can be used, but it should be carefully used. Otherwise, we will become, our name will become what? Angry Prabhu, angry young man.
Angry
So we
birds.
should not be like angry
Angry birds.
birds. So anger should be used, but very carefully. And how one can use lust, anger, greed, lust. And others also can speak. Who else is there? We have almost. Others also can participate by suggesting how we use lust. Anger, greed we saw. Lust can be used or not?
Yes, Prabhu, sure.
Yes, but how?
Lust. Lust for
More and more bhakti.
lust for devotion, lust for earning more money for the service of the Lord.
Lust here, actually lust means lust. There, actually, as Lord says, na, dharma aviruddha bhuteshu kamosmi bhartarshva. If one uses lust for producing, that is actually religious way in producing Krishna conscious children, then that lust is also Krishna himself is saying. Kamosmi bhartarshva. Dharma aviruddha bhuteshu means the lust which is used only in religious way. Krishna is saying, I am that lust. Krishna is saying. So that lust can be used when it's used religiously producing Krishna conscious children. Then that lust, as Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur would say, that if by doing sex 100 times I can produce Krishna conscious children, then I am ready, he would say. But that will not happen. So you remember. So like that, lust can be used if we use that for Krishna service by producing Krishna conscious children. So lust is that way. Anger, greed, then pride. How pride can be used? Pride can be used or not?
Difficult, Prabhu.
Difficult?
Yeah.
Actually, pride of association.
Pride will become
Pride
ego.
of, yeah, that is actually pride means pride. We take pride that actually my Lord is so great. And I take pride that actually devotees are so great. I am under their shelter. I am under Prabhupada's shelter. I have got such a great master. So that pride is also nice. That pride is good. I take pride in that Prabhupada is our master. I am his servant. Krishna is our master. So that pride is right pride. So that pride can be used. And how to use illusion in Krishna's service? To get illusioned, more. So that is actually, if we see Yashoda is also in Moha. Nanda Maharaj is also in Moha. But that is actually the illusion. They are also in illusion. Na? Krishna is my son, my son, my son. And the Moha in this world also, somebody thinks she's my son, she is my wife, or like that. So that is Moha of this world. But the right Moha is Krishna is my father, mother, son, friend, everything. That moha is nice. That moha is Krishna consciousness moha, that illusion. And but only one thing remains which cannot be used. What is that?
Envy.
Envy. Envy cannot be used. Envy cannot be used in Krishna service. Envy has to be given up. This is the only one quality. So Shishupal had that envy. That was dangerous. Envy for the Lord, envy for the devotees. So there is difference between envy and jealousy. And committed. What is the difference between envy and jealousy?
Oh, illusion at our level, I didn't understand.
Pardon?
Illusion at our
Illusion.
level.
Our level, of course, for a sadhaka it will be difficult, but actually it can be used when one actually advances. When one reaches that stage where he knows his swarupa. So in that illusion, actually one thinks Lord as very, very close, as his own very dear son, and he needs protection. So like that, if we see great saints like Mirabai, and they considered Lord as not like Lord, but very intimate relationship they had. So even the Andal, so she considered Lord as the husband. So like that, that moha which is there in this world for our near and dear one, so that will lead to bondage. But same moha, it can be turned towards Krishna, where we consider Krishna as our own. So that is, of course, at later stage. That will come at later stage. First, we have to engage others. Lust, anger, greed, and then moha will come, and envy is like non convertible. You cannot do tell envy. So the difference between envy and jealousy is envy means he is going ahead of me. He has such qualities. He is, praised so much. He is appreciated. I will do something so that I pull his leg so that he will be criticized. He will not go ahead. That is envy. Jealousy means what? He is going ahead. He is progressing so much. I also want to progress. I also want to go ahead. So which is better?
Jealousy is better than envy. Prabhuji, this was my first question I asked in Krishna consciousness when I was in Krishna Kathadesh to my Siksha Guru. He gave a very beautiful example. He said, what's the difference between envy and jealousy? He said, okay, your neighbor is buying a car. When it is jealousy, you will say, oh, my neighbor is buying a car, I also have to buy a car, like what you just mentioned. But envy means you feel that, oh, he has bought a car and you are putting scratch on the car.
Yeah, so that is envy.
That is envy.
Is
dangerous. So you're causing harm to the person whom you are envying. So that is very bad.
In the spiritual world, there is jealousy. Chandravali, Radharani, there is jealousy. But that gives pleasure to Lord. But there is no envy. Envy is pulling down. Just like the crabs. You have seen the crabs? Yes. You keep them in the basket and they will never get out. Because if one goes ahead, the other will pull him down. The other crab will not feel, he is escaping, I will also escape. Like that, they all can escape. But if he is escaping, I will pull him down. I will escape. No, then other is pulling. That is crab mentality. So like that, envy is dangerous. It cannot be used in Lord's service. So envy for the Lord or the devotees will lead to only destruction. So that's how here we see envy. That's why it said envy means no vacancy. In the spiritual world, there is no vacancy who has envy. So better is to give envy. So our Sudama Prabhu had come. So he said, your temple is NVCC. So if you want to remove NV, then you have to read CC. Then actually the NV can be removed by reading the CC. NVCC. Sudama Prabhu. Anyways, which are the 3 lessons we learned today? Like to repeat. Yes. Yeah.
You have to take inspiration from
others.
Sri Kumar Prabhu is saying something. Yeah.
Be very simple and humble to others.
Yeah, humility is one lesson of the. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Amalarjan, we are telling something.
Take inspiration and criticism. Don't try to prove, but try to improve. If criticism, we are actually doing something proper, and accept feedback in a positive sense.
Yeah. So there will be somebody who will do that for us. So we should accept in a positive way. Yeah. Thank you. Second one, somebody else.
Same, the Lord shall be protected.
Pardon?
Blaspheming the Lord.
One should not blaspheme.
One should not hear the blasphemy of the Lord. So 3 responses we saw. Either one should leave the place, either kill the person, or refute him in the argument, like that. And third one?
No envy.
Envy for the Lord.
Envy for Lord will lead to destruction.
Lead to destruction, like this, like Shishupal's destruction. These are the 3 lessons from the deliverance of Shishupal. Actually, it's 10:30 and the cab has come. So I will have to immediately leave. So we'll thank everybody and thank you that you are here, and I thank myself also and I thank you also. We'll loudly chant one time Hare Krishna and I will just leave. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha pajanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Nanda Gaudiya Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Amalarjan Prabhu,
Yes, Prabhuji.
next week Friday class.
Ah.
Visiting devotee may be taking the class. You can confirm with the Ranchod Prabhu.
Prabhu, I'll stop live streaming.
Yeah, please.